It sounds good, but what?
You right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports, that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate it.
But like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that. There's also a humility and a grace, that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide, have anxiety, depression. And the way that people talk down to vulnerable communities is an issue that I have a hard time with as well. So both things I can hold in my hand.
I hate this kind of false compassion, moralistic stance where it basically says we give away our that the other person is able to be comfortable. Dude, if anybody is afraid that somebody is going to off themselves if you tell them the truth or set boundaries on their dysfunction, that person should be in a mental institute. Period. You shouldn't be the person stopping what you're saying because they might react weird. I'm sorry. That's not healthy for them. And the only reason this environment has been able to thrive is because you've pumped the bad ideology, Gavin, into their mind and helped them believe this entire worldview. And now if you ripped out the pillars of it, they would be devastated. That's not civilized society's problem. I want to be compassionate about it too, but that's not fair. We're not going to let our women's heads and their skulls and their orbital eye sockets and everything get crushed by men because we're afraid that they might off themselves if we don't let them beat up our women. Nope. That's false compassion. Sorry, you're harming one group of people at the expense of not hurting the feelings of the others. I have friends that are in relationships with women that the only reason they're in the relationship is because the woman has threatened, I'm going to off myself if you leave. I just can't handle it. And that's unhealthy.
California Governor Gavin Newsom over his failed leadership. Listen to this.
There is absolutely no adequate excuse.
Gavin Newsom is under fire. He recently launched a podcast, and the backlash he is receiving on social media is extremely concerning. When you take a look at this, Mel Gibson, Karen Bass throw the fire chief under the bus to avoid blame. The most pathetic sorry injury I have seen were with Karen Bass. Mel Gibson had a rally where he revealed some things. I'm going to show you the complete video. This is coming a day after James O'Keefe Fox 11 blog reporting on Mayor Bass recording.
You did not let us down.
People in charge did.
You're heroes.
That's right.
Governor Newsom and Karen Bass let us all down.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Especially the fire department. Yeah. I mean, for the privilege of living in the beautiful state of California, we citizens in the state pay the highest tax levels in the USA. It's 13.3%.
Yeah.
I take my fair share, let me tell you. So is everyone here.
Yep.
Now, for that kind of money, we deserve much more and much better, and there is absolutely no adequate excuse the governor or mayor can make for this gross mismanagement and failure to preemptively deal with what they knew was coming.
That's right.
Yep. They knew it.
Was it incompetence?
To say the least.
Indifference?
Yes.
Complacency? Carelessness?
All the above.
Was it negligence? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was it criminal negligence?
Yes. Big time.
See, there are many who say that it is criminal negligence.
Yes, it is. Big time.
Did the mayor and the governor give a damn about you?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope. All she cared was about her.
I mean, that's clear.
Yeah. Now for governor.
Newsom, since he's been in whatever you call it, office, has brought us nothing but rampant crime, acute homelessness, horrendous inflation. I mean, the industry I work in, the film industry, this used to be the mecca of filmdom.
It's left.
It is no more.
That's right.
And the tech industries have taken off, and
That's
many
right.
businesses in the industry, they just left, they blew out of town because he's made it untenable for people to make a living here.
Yep.
I had a job where I had to film down the street in LA, one day filming. It was cheaper for me to fly the entire crew to Bulgaria, feed them, house them for 3 days, shoot, come back.
Wild.
Jeez.
That was more cost effective. He did sort of make some concessions, but he made sure it was just enough so the kids still ran off the farm.
Yes, if you have been following this channel, can you realize few days ago I posted Karen Bass recording. When you take a look at this, James O'Keefe, Fox 11 blog reporting on Mayor Bass recording. Investigative journalist James has uncovered internal Fox 11 News text allegedly revealing the reporters were ordered not to cover a leaked phone call from Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass just days before the recent LA fires. What is in the recording? Mayor Bass defends her recent Ghana trips ahead of time. She makes a cryptic statement saying, read between the lines, hold tight, you will understand soon. I think I put that out here a few days ago.
And I wrote down, like, what do you need for a good podcast? You need to be curious. You have to have authenticity. You have to have some humility. Not like that going on. And you have to have some humor. Okay? Also, he has a terrible approval rating right now in California. He's not doing anything that would actually help him get the fact that everybody in California just voted against him on that reform bill, on the bail reform and the crime reform bill, the Prop 36. 70% of the state went against him on that. His own national appeal is limited. We talked about transparency in the first block. He is so transparent. The only reason he's doing this is because he wants to run for president in 2028.
Yeah.
And he thinks a podcast is the way to do it. And I have one other thing. So the graphics of the podcast, you pull those up, the light blue and the yellow, that's fresh. That looks good. Then cut to his backdrop and what it looks like. And he's in an olive green study, fake study, with a little lamp on the side. Like, honestly, what are you doing? That does not say fresh. That does not say new. That doesn't say anything, but maybe you want to be a psychiatrist.
Criminals. They BS you. Criminals.
Yeah. Newsom wants to do the Maui plan.
We all know it was a land grab.
Yep.
What do you think the Maui locals think of the Maui
Yeah, it was a land grab.
Yeah. I'm sorry, there aren't any more locals living there anymore. They all had to leave town. Do you think the people of the Palisades or Altadena are going to be consulted about how their areas are reimagined by Newsom and Bass?
Negative.
No. They want to build low-income housing in Parrot and Palisades. You know that, right? Yep.
No. It'll be more like the chairman Maui
City.
plan.
Smart city.
They want to use you to get what they want and then throw you away.
Yeah. I mean, one of the most pathetic and despicable things I've seen was when Karen Bass, in order to shift the blame and culpability from herself, wiped it on the fire chief
Threw her
and threw her under the bus for speaking the truth about how the department had been defunded and were without resources. They didn't even have water.
Goes to show what kind of person she is.
Now Gavin has asked for $40 billion of federal dollars.
Use the 50 spends on illegal immigration.
Why would we trust him with that kind of
Or the
funding?
$9.5 billion on healthcare.
See, along with that federal money should come a federal investigation into for a few pennies more. A federal investigation. I mean, Karen is, she's having an investigation into why she made the decision to go to Ghana.
Is that Karen Bass?
Which is absurdity on 4 legs.
I didn't want to interrupt this video to this learn. I wanted you to get a clear message to what he was saying. Mel Gibson is not blinking for some time now or realize this man is more serious in talking against this man. Some people are now calling like Mel Gibson should run for the governor of California. This was a recall. They are advocating that Newsom should step aside. The guy is having ambition to run for president in 2028. The reasons you are seeing him launching a podcast. When you look at Newsom approval rating, it clearly tells you a lot of people are not into him, but he keeps forcing it. What is the idea of Gavin Newsom launching a podcast at this time when people are still suffering? When I went through the comment section of that podcast, people are saying, please focus and fix your city. That was the main message they continue to pass through on the comment section. That is to tell you the minds of people toward him. But he can't listen. His ambition to run for president is something I saw coming. Using this strategy, launch of a podcast, going into podcast is something they never knew that it was working until Trump started it. They underestimated everything. So now Libras are going on podcasts like never before. Some aim to build a show like Joe Rogan to have that number of audience. To me, I don't know the year they're going to succeed with that.
Everything leading up to January 7th. A necessary step to the investigation was the president of the Fire Commission telling Chief Crowley to do an after-action report on the fires.
So did you guys see that yesterday an anonymous source released a phone call with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass?
Let me go straight into this video from James O'Keefe so you can see the audio. This woman is insane.
And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it. And hopefully you can read in between the lines.
News we brought you at the top of the hour. There was a meeting behind closed doors a short time ago between the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, and the LA Fire Chief, Kristen Crowley.
Fail you and your department and our city? It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say justifiably what the fire department needs to operate to.
So putting out this person at this time, I don't get it. I want to know your opinion, partaking through that. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. If you notice, I put clips after this video. That is for algorithm. You can stop here.
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know how many sets you visited, but everybody was like, you know, and then, you know, you get, when the closer you get to the actual set where the shooting is, and then that red zone.
And he did this little dance, like, I've been talking with these, you know, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas, speculate, we're going to have some meetings. Like, he's doing
Really?
this. Oh, show it to him, Jamie. It's so creepy.
Around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
Never in California questioned whether or not we as taxpayers in the largest state in the union should support the people of Louisiana at a time of emergency and need. We never condition it.
These people don't actually care. They're not actually trying to find a solution.
If you don't know, Karen Bass is a goner. She's gone. There's no chance of re-election.
The city will only purchase from vendors that support DEI, said the fire.
I remember when we had a fire when Trump was president, and he came in and he said, "You don't rake. You're not raking." And I did. We all did jokes about it.
In policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and you know, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need.
He's been trained.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel.
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today,
tyranny is rising in the White House.
You are a slave.